the space between stimulus and response. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Viktor Frankl. Every day we face countless decisions, some big, some small. Should I speak up in class? Should I text them back right away? What should I do next with my life? These choices shape who we are and the life we live. But how often do we stop and truly think before we act? In this video, we'll explore how to master the space between what happens to you and how you respond. By the end, you'll have 20 powerful techniques to help you pause, reflect, and make wiser decisions, no matter what life throws at you. If you've ever regretted a hasty decision or wondered why things didn't turn out as you'd hoped, this video is for you. This isn't just about big, life-changing decisions. It's about the everyday choices that define who you become. The power of the pause. Think about the last time you got into an argument with a friend or family member. Maybe you said something in the heat of the moment that you later wished you could take back. What if you had paused and thought before speaking? That brief moment of reflection could have changed everything. The power to make better decisions lies in our ability to pause and think. Today, we'll dive into ancient Stoic methods that sharpen the mind and lead to better outcomes, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. As Seneca once said, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart, and nothing is more powerful than a mind that takes the time to consider its actions." We'll cover techniques like the 5-second rule, the 24-hour rule, and more, each designed to create that crucial space where wisdom can thrive. Let's get started. Method 1. The 5-second rule. The first step to making better decisions is simple. Pause. Learning to pause is like unlocking a secret superpower in a world that constantly pushes us to act quickly. The 5-second rule is a great starting point. Count down from 5 whenever you feel the urge to act, whether it's sending a text, speaking in a heated moment, or making a snap decision. This quick pause lets your mind catch up with your emotions. For example, imagine you're about to reply to an annoying message. Instead of firing off a hasty response, take 5 seconds. Often, you'll realize your initial reaction isn't the best one. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The 5-second rule helps you take control of your mind before it controls you. Method 2. The 24-hour rule. For bigger decisions, there's the 24-hour rule. This technique involves waiting a full day before making a major choice, whether it's a big purchase, a career decision, or resolving a conflict. Taking 24 hours allows your emotions to settle and your thinking to become clearer. The next time you're unsure about something significant, hold off for a day. You'll often find that what felt urgent now seems more manageable, and you'll have a better sense of the right choice. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Pausing before you act lets you choose your response wisely. Perspective shifting techniques. Sometimes, the best way to make a wise decision is to see things from a different angle. Changing your perspective can reveal options you didn't notice before. Method 3. The view from above. The view from above is a technique that involves imagining your life from a distant perspective, like watching it from space. From this distance, problems that feel overwhelming often shrink in significance. For instance, let's say you're stressed about an upcoming test or a tough conversation with a friend. Picture yourself looking at the situation from above. How important will this be in a month, a year? What seems massive up close is often just a small part of your larger story. As Seneca reminds us, time heals what reason cannot. Stepping back helps you focus on what truly matters, bringing clarity to your decisions. Method 4. Role reversal. Another helpful technique is role reversal. This involves seeing the situation through someone else's eyes. Ask yourself, how would a friend, mentor, or even a stranger view this situation? What advice would you give someone else in your shoes? This shift can reveal solutions you hadn't considered. As Aristotle said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. By looking at your decisions from another perspective, you can better understand your mind and make choices with clarity. Emotional management. Emotions can cloud our judgment, leading to decisions we later regret. Learning to manage your emotions is essential for creating the space to pause and reflect. Key to making wiser choices. Method 5. Name the emotion. The first technique for managing emotions is to name the emotion you're feeling. When you're upset, anxious, or frustrated, pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Naming the emotion reduces its power over you. Think about a time when you were angry, perhaps after a disagreement. Instead of letting that anger drive your actions, pause and say to yourself, I'm angry. Simply acknowledging the emotion can help you step back and respond more calmly. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Naming your emotions is the first step to controlling your reactions. Method 6. The Stoics pause. The next technique is the Stoics pause. Before responding to any situation, take a deep breath. This brief pause allows your rational mind to catch up with your emotions, giving you the clarity to choose your response wisely. Next time someone says something that triggers you, take a deep breath before reacting. In those few seconds, you might prevent yourself from saying or doing something you'd later regret. Remember Marcus Aurelius's words, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoics pause empowers you to act with reason rather than emotion. Rational analysis. Balancing emotions with rational analysis is key to making wise decisions. The following techniques will help you evaluate your choices with clarity and logic. Method 7. The pros and cons list. A classic but powerful tool is the pros and cons list. Write down the benefits and drawbacks of each option you're considering. This simple exercise helps you visualize your choices and weigh potential outcomes. For instance, if you're deciding whether to take on a new project or make a big purchase, list the pros and cons. Seeing everything laid out clearly makes it easier to determine which option aligns best with your goals and values. As Aristotle said, "The more you know, the more you realize you don't know." A pros and cons list bridges that gap by clarifying your knowledge and uncertainties. Method 8. The worst-case scenario. Another helpful technique is to consider the worst-case scenario. Ask yourself, what's the worst possible outcome of this decision, and how would I handle it? Imagining the worst case reduces fear and helps you prepare for potential challenges. For example, if you're deciding whether to apply to a new college or move to a new city, envision the worst possible outcome. How would you cope? As Seneca said, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today." Facing the worst-case scenario removes the fear of the unknown, allowing you to act confidently. Values and principles. Wise decisions are grounded in your core values and principles. These methods will help you ensure your choices align with what truly matters to you. Method 9. The integrity check. Start by performing an integrity check. Ask yourself if the decision aligns with your personal values and principles. If it conflicts with your core beliefs, it might not be the right choice. For instance, if you're considering joining a group or engaging in an activity that feels at odds with your values, ask yourself, Does this fit who I am and what I stand for? Ensuring alignment with your values helps prevent internal conflict and regret. As Mahatma Gandhi wisely said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. When your decisions align with your values, you remain true to yourself. Method 10. The Would I Respect Myself? Test. Another useful method is the Would I Respect Myself? Test. Before making a decision, consider whether you'd be proud of your choice if it became public knowledge. This test encourages you to act with integrity and self-respect. For example, if faced with a choice that could benefit you personally but isn't ethical, ask yourself, would I respect this decision if others knew about it? This perspective helps you choose actions that reflect your principles and self-respect. As Confucius said, the superior man is modest in his speech but exceeds in his actions. By making decisions that honor your true self, you live authentically and set an example for others. Seeking counsel. Sometimes the best wisdom comes from others. Seeking counsel from trusted individuals can provide new perspectives and help you make better decisions. Method 11. The mentor's advice. Start by consulting a mentor or someone you respect. Their experience and insight can guide you through complex decisions and help you avoid common pitfalls. For instance, if you're choosing a career path or navigating a personal challenge, seek advice from someone who has faced similar situations. A mentor's guidance often brings clarity and confidence, allowing you to make informed choices. Experience offers valuable guidance method. 12. The two heads are better than one. Approach. Another valuable technique is the two heads are better than one approach. Discuss your decision with trusted friends or advisors who can offer different viewpoints and help you consider aspects you may have overlooked. Before making a big decision, gather input from a few trusted individuals. Each person's perspective can highlight unique angles and considerations, leading to a more balanced and informed choice. As the philosopher Lao Tzu said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Seeking advice from others helps you take that first step wisely, ensuring your journey is guided by collective wisdom rather than relying solely on your perspective. Seeking counsel doesn't mean you're weak. It shows you value diverse perspectives and are open to learning. By incorporating their insights, you strengthen your decision-making process and increase your chances of success. Reflecting on past decisions. Looking back on past decisions offers valuable lessons. This chapter explores how reflecting on your previous choices can improve your future decision-making. Method 13. The post-mortem analysis. Begin with the post-mortem analysis. After making a decision, review the outcome and process. Ask yourself what went well, what didn't, what can I learn from this? This reflection helps you understand your decision-making patterns and identify areas for improvement. Consider a recent choice that didn't turn out as expected, such as a failed project or a plan that fell through. Analyze what led to the outcome and pinpoint areas to improve. By reflecting, you transform experience into wisdom. As John Dewey said, "We do not learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on experience." Reflecting on past decisions ensures you grow and make better choices in the future. Method 14. The future self-reflection. Another valuable technique is future self-reflection. Imagine looking back at the decision you're about to make 5 years from now. Consider how you'll feel about this choice in the long term and whether it aligns with your aspirations. Before making a significant decision, ask yourself, will I see this as a wise choice years from now? Will I wish I had acted differently? This perspective aligns your decisions with your long-term goals and values. As Lao Tzu wisely advised, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Reflecting on your future self ensures you plant the seeds for a better tomorrow by acting wisely today. Avoiding common biases. Biases and cognitive distortions often sway our decisions. Recognizing and counteracting these biases leads to more objective and sound choices. Method 15. Identifying confirmation bias. Start by identifying confirmation bias. This bias causes us to favor information that supports our pre-existing beliefs while ignoring contrary evidence. To counteract it, actively seek opposing viewpoints and challenge your assumptions. For instance, if you're considering buying a new phone and only focus on positive reviews, you're falling into confirmation bias. Instead, look for reviews that highlight potential downsides to gain a balanced view. Albert Einstein once said, "The measure of intelligence is the ability to change." Recognizing and challenging your biases increases your ability to make informed and intelligent decisions. Method 16. The pre-mortem technique. The pre-mortem technique involves imagining that your decision has failed and working backward to identify potential reasons why. This exercise helps you foresee possible pitfalls and devise strategies to avoid them. Before finalizing a major decision, such as choosing a college or investing in a project, conduct a pre-mortem, list potential reasons for failure, and create solutions to address those risks. As the philosopher Nassim Nicholas Taleb said, "The opposite of success is not failure, but being stuck in the same place." The pre-mortem technique helps you move forward with a more robust plan, avoiding stagnation due to overlooked risks. Method 17. The blind spot technique. Finally, employ the blind spot technique. Blind spots are areas where our perception is limited or distorted. To overcome these, invite feedback from others who can point out things you may have missed. For example, if you're working on a project, ask for an outside opinion. Others can provide insights and observations that you might overlook because you're too close to the situation. By addressing blind spots, you gain a more comprehensive view, helping you make better decisions and avoid preventable mistakes. Counter biases with feedback. Actively seeking feedback from others helps counter biases and uncover blind spots. When making significant decisions, such as negotiating a contract or planning a major event, ask for feedback from diverse perspectives. Their insights can reveal hidden risks or opportunities you might have missed. As Socrates wisely said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Seeking feedback ensures your decisions are thoroughly examined, leading to better outcomes and personal growth. Recognizing and addressing biases, like confirmation bias, using techniques like the pre-mortem analysis and identifying blind spots, ensures decisions are based on a transparent and objective understanding. Embracing uncertainty. Uncertainty is an unavoidable part of life. Embracing it rather than fearing it leads to more confident and effective decision-making. This chapter explores methods to manage and utilize uncertainty. Method 18. The what-if game. The what-if game is a powerful technique. Ask yourself what-if questions to explore various scenarios and their potential outcomes. By anticipating different possibilities, you prepare yourself for uncertainty and make more informed decisions. For example, if you're deciding whether to start a new hobby or job, ask, what if it succeeds? What if it fails? By considering both positive and negative outcomes, you can better prepare for challenges and opportunities. As Charles Darwin observed, it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. Embracing uncertainty and preparing for various outcomes makes you adaptable and resilient. Method 19. Best-worst, most likely analysis. The best-worst, most likely analysis involves considering three scenarios, the best possible outcome, the worst possible outcome, the most likely outcome. This approach helps you balance optimism with realism. For instance, if you're choosing a career path, moving to a new city, or deciding on a life partner, analyze each scenario. By visualizing potential outcomes, you can make balanced, well-informed choices. As Rainer Maria Rilke said, "The only journey is the one within." Understanding and accepting uncertainty enhances your inner resilience and decision-making skills. Method 20. The decision tree approach. Use the decision tree approach to create a visual map of your choices. Each branch represents a possible option and its outcomes. This structured visualization helps clarify potential consequences. For example, if you're deciding whether to pursue a new project, draw a decision tree with branches for each option and their possible outcomes. This helps you systematically weigh pros and cons, reducing uncertainty and improving clarity. As Heraclitus wisely noted, change is the only constant in life. By embracing uncertainty and using tools like the what-if game, best, worst, most likely analysis, and decision tree approach, you can adapt effectively to change and uncertainty. Mastering the art of wise decisions. Making wise decisions requires introspection, practical strategies, and a commitment to growth. We've explored methods to manage emotions, analyze decisions rationally, align choices with personal values, seek advice, reflect on past decisions, avoid biases, embrace uncertainty. Now, it's time to put these principles into action. Reflect on recent decisions and identify areas where these techniques can be applied. Start small, perhaps by creating an action plan for a current goal or using the what-if game to explore a new opportunity. As Winston Churchill wisely said, to improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. Embrace decision-making as an ongoing journey of growth and refinement. Each choice is a step toward greater wisdom and personal development. Your journey forward. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of wise decision-making. I hope these methods empower you to approach choices with confidence and clarity. If you found this valuable, please like, subscribe, and share with others who might benefit. Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments. I'd love to hear how these techniques work for you. Remember, every decision you make is a building block toward the life you aspire to create.